All right, what is going on? It's Nate. We got another Truck Talk episode today. Today I'm going to talk about, well, I guess the topic would be the way you think about things. So you have to change the way you think about things if you want the thing you think about to change. I know that's kind of a tongue twister, but if you change the way you think about things, the things you think about will change, right? So kind of tagging on to my gratitude video yesterday, if you're constantly being grateful for everything you have, you're constantly showing gratitude, you're looking for the good, right? You're always looking for the good in life. You're always thinking of ways, that you can be grateful. What can you be grateful for? You're looking at all these different things, and it puts you, sorry, I was out laying on the beach, and so I'm like sleepy. It puts you in touch with like the good, right? You're thinking about the good because you're changing the way you see things, so the things you see are now changing. And so the importance, I guess, what I'm going to talk about is when it comes to goals, right? So the mistake that 99% of people make, and of course I've fallen victim to this too in some areas, is they think of their goal as like some distant future reality, and they keep themselves in a state of lack, right? So if you're constantly saying, I want to get rich, I want to make a bunch of money, you're never going to get rich, you're never going to make a bunch of money, right? Because you have to understand that your desires, your imagination, your words, your thoughts are your communication to God, right? So if you're saying, I want to get rich, he doesn't know what that means, right? How rich do you want to get? 20 more bucks or 20 million, right? You have to know what you want. You can't say, I want a new house. You could get the new house and it could suck. Like, you have to be very, very specific. You have to realize that whatever you get back is based strictly off what you pour into it. So you have to realize it's a mold, and it's a mold that can't make any adjustments. So if you're pouring into it, I'm earning $100,000 a month, it's not going to alter that. You're going to get that 100K, no more, no less. And so you have to understand that you have to know exactly what you want, Like, you got to know, if you say, I want a Lambo, what Lambo do you want? What color do you want it to be? What model, right? What color on the interior? You have to know all these little details, and that's what's going to make it real. Because like in the program I'm studying right now, he was saying that the more crystal clear your idea is on the desire, like the more crystal clear it is, like, for example, why this is happening, but for example, like a car, like you can't just say I want a Lambo. You got to know the color, you got to know the trim, you got to know every single part of it, right? Versus or like the house, you can't be like, I want a new house. You got to know every single detail of the house. How big is it? Where is it? What's the view? Does it have a pool? Like, you got to know all these little things, because when you can picture exactly what you want, and there's no guessing, that's what makes it feel real, which is then going to make it easier to hold that image in your mind. So if if I'm like, I'm ready to move into my new house, or like I know exactly what I want, and I'm able to build like a crystal clear picture of it, it makes your mind think you've already been there, like you've already experienced that. And so that is so important. But I don't know why I'm yawning so much, but what's even more important is, now that you know what you want, you can't think of it as a distant reality. You can't think of it as something far away. You have to understand that creation is already finished, right? There's nothing else that is being created. Maybe we're reformatting some things, recycling some stuff, and changing its arrangement, but we are not creating. We're simply rearranging. So you have to understand that for you to change, for you to create your new reality, you do not have to do like physical, you don't have to put in the physical time. You're not trying to mold this new reality. You're not trying to create something out of nothing. Like, you are simply just communicating to God what you want, and God is going to form that into your physical reality, right? So you have to understand that your future is already existent. Like, I don't want to tap too much into the law of attraction type thing. That's a whole other video, but I don't understand. I never yawned. But like, everything's on a frequency, so you could be on any frequency at any time. So if you hop up to that frequency, you're going to be in harmony with everything, and everything that you need for that to come true is going to come. And so this is the best example that Bob Proctor used a lot, is when it comes to frequencies. You don't have to know how a frequency works to call someone on the phone and get on their frequency, right? You don't have to know all the details as to why a phone works, but you can still use the phone and call whoever you want. Well, life is the same way. You don't have to understand the frequency thing. You don't have to get it. You just have to accept it and use it, right? So understand that you can dial any life you want. You can dial any life you want to live. You choose to be rich. You choose to be poor. You choose to be homeless. You choose anything you want through your inner dialogue. Your inner dialogue is what is manifested into the physical world. So whatever you are saying on the inside, that's what everyone sees. You think it's private. You think it's just you're the only one that's going to hear it. No, that's what everybody sees, because that's what manifests. That inner dialogue is the most powerful thing. And so you're never going to get rich if your inner dialogue is telling you you're poor. And if you're poor, it's because your inner dialogue has been saying that, and you've been thinking those thoughts. You've been telling yourself those ideas, and so now it has manifested into your life. So if you want to change your life, if you truly want to change your life, you have to change your inner dialogue. You have to. How do you change your inner dialogue? You have to constantly be conscious of what you are thinking about, what you are saying to yourself, what you are, fantasizing about, what you're freaking out about, what are you getting involved in. You have to know every single part of this. You have to be so aware that no thought slips by you. And you have to understand that you are not thinking these thoughts. You are an observer of these thoughts, right? You have to understand, like, these thoughts are like a street going side to side to side to side to side, like Frogger. And you can choose to just sit back and just watch the cars go back and forth, or you could try to, hopscotch through it and try to make your way to the other side. But if you just take a second and you observe these thoughts and you detach from them, and you're like, you know what? These results I have in this physical world, these are just a result of my past thinking. I don't care what I see physically. That's not who I am right now. Who I am right now is going to catch up in a few weeks, right? That's what we have to understand is, and what most people get discouraged by is they make these changes. Like, for example, you start going to the gym, you're not going to wake up the next day and be like, wow, I'm buff. No, that's not how it works. You're going to see some results in a few weeks. That's exactly how the mind stuff works. That's exactly how reprogramming your mind works. You're not going to have instant results. You probably will feeling wise, right? So like me, I feel way better. I feel like a millionaire, right? I already have the millions. The physical world just has to catch up. And so you'll feel it physically. Like if you're like, oh, am I doing this right? Well, do you feel it? Do you feel like you have $1 million? Do you feel like you're rich? Do you feel like you're living in that new house? Do you feel like you're driving that new car? If you don't feel it, you're not doing it right. And so you'll feel it, and it will start to feel real, so real that you don't care when it becomes real. That's what it comes down to. I already feel like I have everything I desire, that I don't even care when it actually happens, because I already have it emotionally. And that's what you're chasing, is the emotion side of it. So you have to really reprogram yourself. Like the program said, you have to live in the house, live in that new house, drive the new car, go on that vacation before you ever have it physically, before you ever have it. Right now, you can close your eyes and you can live in that new house. You can drive that new car. You can do it. You can do it with your eyes open. Right now, I'm driving a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. I'm doing it. So it's like, you have to live in that life now if you want that to be a reality. And it's not just daydreaming. It's daydreaming if you don't take any actions. But when you get so emotionally involved in this life, if you get so involved with, the fact that you are living in the version of your life that you're imagining, it will happen. It will manifest, and you will naturally take these actions where you're like, I need to do this, I need to do that. And you may not know why. You're going to be nervous, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you take those actions and everything will fall into place. Everything falls into place every time. It's not easy because it's very uncomfortable, because you're taking these actions that you've never taken before, but it flows like so naturally, and you'll look back and you'll be like, wow, my life changed. Like nothing's the same. But it's all on the inside. So if you're trying to change, if you want to reach that goal, if you want to make more money, you want to move cities, you want to do whatever, you can't change the outside world. You're gonna be trying to change it for years. But if you change the inside world, your outside world will change in just a few weeks. Like you could quantum leap to a whole new life in a month, a couple months. Like that's what I'm doing. I already know what's happening. Like I'm quantum leaping this month. Like, I'm earning more money than I've ever earned in my life because I already am. Like, mentally, I already am. But I know it's going to happen physically too because I believe it. And I know that because I believe it, I will be in harmony with those ideas, and God will bring to me everything I need to achieve what I'm desiring, right? Because God is always for expansion and fuller expression. That's what people don't understand, is God is always giving you exactly what you ask for. But what you ask for is usually not good. Usually you're imagining the bad things, you're thinking the bad thoughts, you're worried about this, worried about that, and you're bringing that into your life. God's bringing it to you because you're asking. So if you look around and you don't like your circumstance, don't blame God, don't blame people, don't blame the news, don't blame the economy, don't blame Trump, don't blame anything. Blame yourself. Because you asked for it and you got it. God delivered right on time. And guess what? God can just as easily deliver a life of abundance, prosperity, happiness, health, wealth, riches, everything you want. He delivers to you right on schedule. Whatever you ask for. But you have to tune into it. You have to be on that frequency. You have to dial that number. If you're on the phone with poverty, let me tell you, you're going to get poverty. It's going to answer every single time. Poverty's going to be on that phone. Bam. Right? You're talking, you're thinking, you're acting, you're imagining on poverty. Guess what? Guess who's on the other end of that line? Poverty. And then you get mad. Oh, why am I getting the same results? Why am I not making more money? Why is this not working? Why is everything going bad? That's why. Because you're tuned into it. You're tuned into it perfectly, and you're not changing the station. If you want to change your life, if you want to change your results, you got to change your frequency. You got to change your station. Think of it. If you're on 88.9 and you want to listen to 97.1, you can't stay on 88.9. You got to change the radio. You got to change what frequency you're on. And if you don't, I got news for you. You're going to be listening to the same station. You're going to be getting the same results, listening to the same songs. And that's exactly how life works. If you don't change your frequency, if you don't change that station, you're going to keep getting the same results over and over and over and over. Forever. Forever. I promise. I've dealt with it, both good and bad. Both good and bad. I've experienced it. I've put myself in a pit because of my own thinking, and I've taken myself to my dream life because of my own thinking. So let me tell you, your mind is literally, I don't even want to say your mind's powerful because it's so cliche. Your mind is everything. This world is just a reflection of your mind. That's literally all it is. Your world is a reflection of your inner thoughts. If you want to change your world, change your thoughts. If you want to try to change everything physically, if you want to work hard, if you want to put in the time, you might get success in, 5-10 years. Maybe when you're 65, you might have a couple bucks to your name. But if you want to get rich, young, in every way, I'm not just talking about money here, I'm talking about in every single way. There's no better feeling than feeling connected to God and feeling, connected to your purpose and feeling fulfilled and, achieving these goals and, imagining things and making them happen. There's literally no better feeling. So it's not just about the money. Honestly, I don't even care about the money because I already have the money. Like, straight up. Like, I'm not even, like, spiritually, I already have the money. I already have the feeling of the money. I don't really care what my bank says. It doesn't matter. Because spiritually, I know that whatever I believe has to manifest. But it's law. Like, I'm not here talking about some foo-foo stuff. Like, oh, yeah, sit and think positive and you'll make money. No, literally, you hold an idea in your mind, by law, it has to move into form. It's the law of perpetual transmutation. If you don't believe this stuff, that means you have to study it. If you're not studying, you're not going to change. What differences? What I've noticed is when my life isn't going the way I want it to go, I'm not studying the mind. I'm not studying those principles. I'm not studying the laws. When things go well, when things flow, I'm studying. I'm not living by the world. I'm living through my imagination, just like the Bible says. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I know I kind of jumped all over the place, but seriously, you got to change inside. You got to change your thoughts. You got to change your actions. You got to change your inner voice if you want to change. Otherwise, you're not going to change. You might change for a day. You might change for a week. You might get some, a spike of some good results, but you'll always revert back to the old ways. I promise you, it's law. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you take something from this. If you want more in-depth videos on how all this stuff works, I have some posted. Look for the longer videos. But I'm going to be rolling out more educational, helpful videos so you guys can watch those and directly apply it to your life and literally change your life, because this is what changed my life. In 6 months, I changed every single part of my life. I moved cities, changed occupations. I literally built my dream life and now I'm living in it. And you can do the same. I'm here to help. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you in the next one.